Right, now let's talk about adding screen recordings to our videos. Now this is something that I do a lot, and you'll notice that anytime there's a tech YouTuber and they do a sort of what's on my iPhone, what's on my iPad, you'll see that they have got the footage, the screen recorded footage from their iPhone or their iPad on the screen. That is one way of doing it. What I like to do as well is, for example, if I'm referencing a website or a podcast, I'll include a screen recording of me browsing that website or browsing through that podcast page on my phone or whatever. So first things first, we actually need to record the screen, and in anticipation of myself doing this online class, I actually prepared a little something. So let's go back to this video, and here is what I was saying. And at this point, I'm going to turn on the built-in screen recording feature of my phone and record audio alongside, so I can synchronize what I'm about to show, the iPhone clip of me scrolling through the description for the Hustle podcast, and I'll show you how that works. So I'm using the app Go Record, which lets me record audio as well. Okay, and now the screen is recording. So you'll see that little red thing over there that says 1906. That means the screen is recording, and hopefully it's recording audio as well. So I should very easily be able to synchronize this camera audio with that microphone audio with this phone audio, and then everything will be synchronized straight in Final Cut Pro 10, or I can use something like Pluralize to do that for me. Okay, so here's how you record your screen with Go Record. So we've got our iPhone over here, and we've installed the app Go Record, which you can just find in the App Store. Go Record. Oops. And once you follow the tutorial of its setup, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to scroll down from the top into Control Center, and you'll be able to click on the screen recording feature, and then you can choose to record your screen with whichever app you want. So we hit Go Record. We choose microphone on because that ensures that we record audio as well, and then we hit start broadcast. And then it's going to go 3, 2, 1, and now the screen will be recording, and we know it'll be doing that because we can see that little red thing up there. So now if I want to stop the screen recording, I'm going to kind of do my stuff on the page, what's on my iPhone, whatever, stop the screen recording, hit stop. We'll then get this notification, tap to view screen recording. So we're going to tap. And that screen recording will now appear in Go Record. So you'll see this is all of the screen recordings that I've done. The most recent one is here, and we'll be able to scrub through it. And if we hit play, you should hear my voice as well. We can see that little red thing up there. And so that's how you record the screen. And then once we've done the screen recording, we just want to airdrop it straight across to our MacBook, and then it will appear in our downloads folder, and then we can put it into Final Cut. So let's now resume Final Cut. That has now appeared in my downloads. What I want to do is I want to drag and drop it onto my thing. Actually, I'm going to do this properly. I'm going to open the file up in my Finder. I'm going to copy it across to the hard drive where I've got my stuff stored. I'll paste it in there. So then I can reference it directly from the hard drive, which means if I empty my downloads folder, nothing gets screwed up along the way. Let me find the bit where I'm talking about this podcast. Okay, here we go.
All right, second thing I want to talk about a podcast that I started listening to recently, I really enjoyed, and that is called My First Million. And it's a podcast that's run by the guys behind The Hustle, which is really good, like tech news, daily email newsletter that I've been subscribed to for the last few months. And the idea is get the gritty detail.
Okay, and now I'll stick that over here. And now you'll notice that there's like audio that's like overlapping. So.
And okay, and now get the gritty details today without their connection. Now, having got this money.
I'm going to select this and get rid of the visibility just so I can figure out where I want how to get this audio to line up.
Podcast that I discovered recently, and that. All right. Secondly, I want to talk about a new podcast that I discovered recently, and that is called My First Million, which is a podcast that's how they got started, kind of open to what they would do if they were started. It's a podcast that's run by the guys behind.
And what I want is I want this screen recording to come in as I'm starting talking about it.
And the idea is get the gritty details on how Silicon Valley's most prolific founders.
And the idea is get the gritty details. So I'm looking for that on my screen recording. If I was doing this actually properly, I'd have synced everything in Pluralize, and that would have just synchronized it for me. But let's assume we don't have this $200 piece of software.
And make sure my hair is still working. Right, secondly, I want to talk about a podcast that I started listening to recently. I really enjoyed it. Behind it, how did they, like most of the guys that I interviewed are like, and the idea is get the gritty details on how to.
Okay.
And the idea is, get
So I found the point where I'm saying, get the gritty details, and that's a sort of sharp staccato sound. So what I can do is I can put a marker over there by hitting M.
And the idea is get the gritty details on how Silicon Valley...
Get the gritty details, and I want to find exactly the same point on my proper clip. So I'm going to hide the visibility using V, and I want to put a marker there.
And the idea is
get. That's it. So I'm going to put a marker there. And now what I can do is I can line up these markers. This is very exciting. Okay, fantastic. I've officially lined up the markers. That means I can now get rid of all of this footage before. I can hit V again, and I can take the audio and of this Go Record clip and reduce it to 0. So I can either do that by hovering over this thing and reducing it down, undo, or I can go on the audio panel and just drag it all the way to negative infinity, which means we don't have any audio from the screen recording that's affecting anything. The main point of the audio is just to synchronize. Okay, so it's only really the front bit where I actually care, or that I actually care about. So let's get rid of that by using Alt and right bracket. So now I've got this, but obviously that looks absolutely terrible. So we want to take that, and you guessed it, we want to move it across to the side a little bit. So I'm just going to X change that, and I think putting it over there looks reasonable, just roughly. Okay, so here's what it looks like now.
That I've been subscribed to for the last few months, and the idea is get the gritty details on how Silicon Valley's most prolific founders made their first million.
Okay, so that's fine. I quite like the fact that we've got this this footage coming across. Okay, so I'm quite happy with having this just there for the whole video. The only thing I'm slightly not happy with is this jump cut.
That I've been subscribed to for the last few months, and the idea is get the...
Like, it's not too bad, but usually I like to have some kind of transition. So in order to add a transition, what I'm doing, again, so skipping forward a bit. Actually, not really skipping forward. Anyway, whatever. In order to add a transition, I'm going on this little, selecting this bit of the clip, and I'm finding my transition from the transitions panel, which, just to recap, you can find by going Control Command 5. That shows and hides the transitions panel, or you can, if you're feeling slow, you can go Window, Workspace, Show in Workspace, Transitions. Window, Show in Workspace, Transitions. Anyway. The transition I want is from a glitch pack that, again, I got off Video Hive because I like buying stuff off Video Hive. Where is it? Glitch pack. And I want Glitch Shuffle 2. Cool. This is what Glitch Shuffle 2 looks like.
Subscribed to for the last few months, and the idea is get the...
Yeah, you know, just a little bit of a glitch transition, nothing too fancy, nothing as, you know, obnoxious as like a star wipe transition or anything really weird like that. Just a simple...
Subscribed to for the last few months, and the idea...
Just a simple glitch transition that just makes this a more interesting clip, because while I'm talking about all this stuff, there is stuff relevant to the podcast that is coming up on the side of the screen. Cool. So that is how you add screen recordings for an iPhone. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you add Mac screen recordings and how we can use the distort feature to make them look a little bit more interesting. So that'll be in the next video.